You want to feel uncomfortable when you're manifesting. Hey, I'm Dan. I talk about manifestation, conscious creation, intentional living. And today I want to focus on the topic of feeling uncomfortable when you're manifesting. All right? It's not a great feeling, right? If you're uncomfortable, you're kind of like, oh man, like this isn't not what I'm used to. I don't really like this feeling. Well, let me tell you something. When you're manifesting and you're feeling uncomfortable, that's the best thing that can happen to you. Do you know why? Because when you are living as the old identity and you detach from that old identity, that's not comfortable. When you're living as the new identity now and you've chosen your new identity, you're embodying the new identity, which is the version of you that has the thing you're trying to manifest, that's new to you. What happens when humans are creatures of habit. We like to feel safe by doing the same things over and over and over again. Over and over, every single day. And this is why I talked about consistency not quite too long ago on this channel, just because I know we are all creatures of habit. So whatever we do the most, whatever we're the most dominant doing and being, the identity that we are, that's who we live as. That's what will manifest. That's the reality we exist in. When we are manifesting something, we are going from a state of lack of that desire to a state of having that desire, already experiencing that desire, right? So you can't expect things to change if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. What was that quote? It was something about like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting it to change. Paraphrasing it. But essentially, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. You're gonna feel uncomfortable when you're manifesting, and that's okay. It's what you want, okay? It's what you want to experience, because that means that you have A, detached from your old identity, you're doing something different, okay? And B, when you've embodied a new identity, something you're not used to, you're stretching yourself, you're getting out of your comfort zone. It's gonna feel different. It has to, because you're now thinking differently, you're acting differently. You're feeling differently. You're perceiving things and assuming things about the world differently. And over time, it's going to become normalized. And that is exactly what you want. And by that time, your manifestation is going to be poof in front of you. And that's the thing. You want to normalize yourself as the new identity. It's different. And that's why you're going to feel uncomfortable. That's why you're going to feel uncomfortable. And that's okay. If you feel uncomfortable, it means you're doing the job, right? You're at the very least detaching from your old identity. Now, we don't want to be detaching from our old identity and pick an even worse identity that we don't want to experience, or pick a different one that we don't want to experience, right? We want to be very conscious of what we're choosing. But when we are choosing the new identity, we have to understand that the new identity is something that we're not used to at the start. Over time, the more consistent you are with your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your reactions, your perceptions, and assumptions, the more consistent you are with that, the more it's going to become normalized and you're going to get used to it. Once you become used to it, that is going to become your new normal. That's the most dominant identity that you live as, and that is the reality you are going to experience. And of course, if we're manifesting something, that is going to be the experience. That's going to be the reality that contains your desire and your experience that you wish to manifest. And it's going to be done. Remember, all creation is done. We're just selecting. We're just selecting a reality that a version of us already lives as, already has that manifestation. It just feels uncomfortable to embody that version right now because we haven't been living as that. Our old identity is made up of what our parents taught us, what we told ourselves, what things that happened to us, our friends, teachers, our society has put all these expectations and burdens and parameters, like this is the box that you have to live in. This is who you are. And we have to let go of that. We have to detach from that. Because only by detaching from that, we can choose our new identity, the one that we want to live as. Living authentically. I made a video on that not so long ago. Living true to our own authentic selves. Choosing what we truly want to do and live and experience. Not what other people has told us and repeat. And guess what? Most people in our lives, most people live as that old identity. Live as what people have told them to live as. Over and over and over and over again. And they become safe, they become secure, because there is a normalcy to that. There is an expectation. The unexpected isn't there. It's, oh, everything every day is similar. Think about it. You wake up. Most people, their day goes like this, right? Let's just take, for example, someone that works. Most people work a 9 to 5 job, Monday to Friday. On weekends, maybe they get to spend a little bit more time with the family if they're not working overtime. They wake up, they're not too happy. It's early in the morning. They got to drive to work or take the public transit. They go to the office, work for a little bit, go for a bathroom break, back to their, they have a little bit of a disagreement with their boss. They're not happy. They're frustrated. So they complain with their coworkers. Then it's lunchtime. They have their lunchtime, right? And then after their lunchtime, a brief little break, they go back to work, just looking at the clock, waiting for the 5 p.m. to roll around so they can check out, go home, make dinner, have some dinner with their family if they have one, or if not, just, lie there, relax, turn on the TV, go to bed, wake up, repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. And maybe 2 weeks out of the year, they get vacation time. They can go travel somewhere outside of the city that they live in or wherever they're located. That's how most people operate. Day to day, the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. They're so used to it. It's become normal. So when something different happens, why is it that birthdays or Christmas or holidays happen and it's exciting, it's new, it's fun? It's because it breaks apart the normalcy of it all. It's something that we don't get to experience every day. And I know I went on a tangent about how all of this is normal. Guess what? It's uncomfortable, and it could be exciting or nervous. Nervousness and excitement are actually the same thing in the body, all right? I'm not going to get into that right now because that's a very long video. But essentially, when something changes, when something is outside of the normal habit, you're going to feel a different way. Things are going to happen that are just unexpected. And that's when you're open to receiving what the universe can provide for you. And that's the crazy thing about it all. It's not just about being uncomfortable and getting used to it and then having that eventually become your new normal. It's that when you are in the state of uncomfortability, you are also open to receiving something unexpected. Okay? So things that can happen. So if you are expecting something to happen to take a certain amount of time, it can happen quicker for you. Because it can come in unexpectedly. Remember, our job is done when we're manifesting, right? The universe takes care of the rest of it. So you have to understand that there are ways that we do not logically think. We don't worry about the how. I just made a video on that. We don't worry about the how it's going to come in. Okay? It actually us being uncomfortable actually opens us up to the possibilities of things coming in that are unexpected, that are outside the realm of normalcy to us. And that is what we want, because that's how people get the things that they want quicker than they expected. Why is it that manifestation is such a manifesting on a time crunch? Because the reason why people want to manifest on a time crunch is because there's an underlying belief that they don't expect they can get what they want through their logical brain within that deadline or before that deadline. That is why people want to manifest on a time crunch, because they want to build in that belief. There's some part of them that doesn't believe that they can get what they want through their logical mind, brain, thinking about it. There is some belief there that says this isn't possible, or at the very least, it's very unlikely that it's going to come in before this time. Why is manifesting on a time crunch so important? I think there was just a question on my YouTube the other day asking about this. I responded to it. But manifesting on a time crunch, right? Why? Because people don't believe that they can have the thing that they want within that time frame. And I'm here to tell you it's possible, because people have always manifested on a time crunch all the time. But that's the key point I want you to draw out from here, is that things can happen unexpectedly. And when they happen unexpectedly to you, right? Guess what that is? It's uncomfortable. In a certain way, think about it for a second. When things happen unexpectedly, whether good or bad, I'm using examples of good right now because it's things you want to manifest. When unexpected things happen to you, it's uncomfortable for you because you're not used to that. So you use that in our manifestation practice. We use that. We embody the state of new identity and we actually embrace the feeling of uncomfortability, being uncomfortable, doing something a little bit different, breaking out of our daily habits. Here's an exercise I want you to do no matter what you're manifesting, okay? It doesn't matter. Whatever you are manifesting right now, once you've already embodied the new identity, okay, you have to really be conscious of what you're thinking, what you're acting, what you're feeling, what you're assuming and perceiving. Once you've embodied that new identity, I want you to do something that is different. Break out of your daily habit. It could be as simple as driving down or walking down a different route, taking the stairs instead of the elevator. It can be pouring the milk first before the cereal, or vice versa, depending on how you eat your cereal and milk. The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter how small it is, just do something a little bit different, because it also kind of tricks your mind into thinking like, hey, I'm different. I'm a new person. It helps you embody the new identity. It breaks you out of that normalcy. It's going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable because you're not used to it. Get used to the uncomfortability. That's what I want you to do with this exercise. Get used to it. Train yourself. Okay? It's actually a really fun exercise to do. And I sometimes do it, especially if, I might take a different route back home, or I might, do something just a little bit different. Maybe you're at the gym and you just rearrange the order of the exercises you do your workout in. Or maybe you just do something a little bit different on the weekdays. Maybe you do something in the morning normally, but you're going to do it in the late afternoon. Maybe you normally read something and, and then now you read some other book. Maybe you like your fiction book. Maybe you're going to pick up a nonfiction book and read an autobiography. It doesn't matter what it is. My point is that do something to make yourself uncomfortable, just to get yourself in that feeling. Because when you're embodying the new identity, you're going to be uncomfortable. But it's going to become normal to you eventually. And once it does, oftentimes that's when the manifestation just pops in, because you're fully embodying the new identity now, right? All right, I'm going to leave it there. I think it's gone on long enough, but I really hope you get a lot of value from this. To sum it all up, don't be afraid of being uncomfortable. See it as a sign of encouragement that you've already shifted your identity. Just be conscious that you are embodying the new identity when you're being uncomfortable, because that also means that you are manifesting what you're wanting right now, all your desires. Okay? Leave your comments, questions down below, any topics you want me to talk about or cover about manifestation, and I'll try to get to them when I have time to, and I'll see you all soon. All right? Thank you.